Hello, this is going to be a quick stream with a little bit of an announcement of a new demo for my program Chaste that I've been working on. I'm going to play a video now and turn my microphone off. This is going to be really awesome. Okay, so that video was made by my program, Chaste, and it's actually a very cool program. Now, I have a tendency to bore people with the details of computer programming, but Gracie, what do you think? Do you think I should show the source code and how it works a little bit, or do you think I should just use the program and do a little demonstration of chess teaching using my program I made? What do you think? Chess demonstration or a computer programming exhibit? What do you think, Gracie? Okay. Yeah, let's just do a demo of the program itself and exactly how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the program and then I'm going to configure some things here. I'm going to have to configure my layout a little bit. So we're going to just run the executable here, and once I run it, okay, there we are. Let's see here if it's showing correctly. Okay, so now it shows here. And what I want to do is I need to move things around just a little bit here. So so the Chaste chess program itself, let's resize it to its original size. All right. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to let's put this up here. This is what the program it basically looks like. Let's just put this up in the corner here, giving lots of space for the chat. So this is what the program, oh, I just realized something. I currently have it configured to do the demo. That's the way it's compiled. So the demo runs as soon as I press the escape key in the program. So let's try that and see what that looks like. So you see what it's doing is it's playing back the moves. It's actually running the program itself. It's actually playing back the moves of a game that I play with my mom on Chess. I got her into Chess. She doesn't know how to get to Chess without my help. She's horrible with computers, but it's a convenient way to play chess without her having to go upstairs and me have to find a chair and I sit in my room at my chessboard, which I would love to do that, but it's recorded when we play games on Chess. So I basically just replayed a game on Chess, but entered all the moves into my program, basically. So now you can see the whole game played out with rainbow trails as the pieces move, which is really awesome. So we're going to let it finish its demo, and then I'm going to need to recompile the program briefly to show you how it actually works from the start. I'll just have to recompile because I had it configured all for the demo because I was recording a video of the demo so I could upload it to all the social media. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. So yeah, see, this game is almost over there. See, it's checkmate. Perfect. So let's end the program, and then I'm going to just have to recompile this thing. I'm going to change it so that, okay, I have to go to the main source file. We're going to comment out the demo function, and then we're going to put back in the main game loop itself. We're going to set loop back to 1. You can't see what I'm doing right now, but I have the source code open and I'm basically just recompiling it here. We're going to do the scoop. We're just going to recompile it and hopefully it'll work this time. Let's see here if it works or not. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we are. There we go. So now we have the program. Notice that the white pieces are at the bottom now. That's the way it's meant to be at the start because that's like the default view. So what I can do here is you'll see that I can click on any of these pieces. And as I click on the pieces, it shows the squares as green where it can move. So these pawns can move there. This knight can move to those green squares, but it can't move to that red square because that's one of our own pawns there. This knight can move to the green squares, but not the red square. So it's red when it's your own piece that is in that spot. So I have color codings no matter which piece I click on. Now, if I click on black's pieces, nothing happens. You can't click on your pieces when it's not your turn. So right now it's white's turn. And also keep in mind, I can flip the view. By pressing the V key, I've configured it to swap the chessboard. Basically, it reverses the order of all the pieces. So this is the view. If you're playing as black on Chess, for example, then it's going to look like this. If you're playing as white, it's going to look like this. So I have the Merida piece set manually with the image files, everything. Everything is perfectly color coded. And so now I'm in business. I'm in business right here. We have Gracie in the chat. You have my video camera showing my face here. And then we see the game itself. And this game may not be very exciting. It's just chess. But here's the beauty of it is I'm gonna use this program as a chess teaching tool. I mean, yes, I do things on Chess, but my own program is prettier because the sidebars are pink and the colors of the chessboard is just perfect shades of gray. So it doesn't get any better than this. My program looks better than using the Lichess website, even though Lichess obviously is better because you can play random games against people online, of course. In this program, you just have to play chess with yourself. That's basically how it is. So that's what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you an idea. I was in the shower and I came up with this idea. I know it sounds crazy, but I make up chess openings in my head while I'm in the shower sometimes. The shower is very inspirational for some reason. Okay, so I'm going to show an example of something that I realized that could be done with the Queen's Gambit declined. So look at this. We have d4, d5, c4. Now keep in mind that I can't rewind the moves in this program. I don't have a way to rewind and go back moves in this program yet. So just bear with me. I may have to go back to Lichess itself for a more proper demonstration of what I'm trying to show. Plus, I'll probably want to play live games later anyway. But here is the Queen's Gambit position. And in the case where Black declines it by moving the King's pawn one square, we have the Queen's Gambit declined. And for the longest time, I've wondered, what am I going to do in this case? You know, because do I move the bishop? Do I move the bishop in front of the queen here? Actually, I don't even know if you can see my mouse cursor. Let me look at the settings here. Need to go to the properties here. So let's see here how this works. Let's see if you can see the mouse cursor now. Yes, so now you should be able to see the mouse cursor where the mouse currently is on the window. That's important. So, but I came up with this wild idea because, see, the bishop over here is a threat. This bishop could go right here, and if it does, the king is in check, and the king doesn't really have much of an escape. So one way is to protect the king is to move the bishop here, or to move the knight either here or here. And the mouse pointer itself serves as the guide here, what I'm trying to show. But I just came up with a new idea, like a very new idea here. And I know this seems a little bit crazy, but it involves this this pawn next to the king's bishop right here. And look at this. Let's move this pawn in front of the king's bishop 2 squares. And you might be wondering, well, why that move? Why this here? Because the queen can put the king in check, right? And what's the point of this move? I didn't get it at first either, but I came up with this in the shower. The idea here is we want to get rid of this this king's pawn here up on the black side, because this pawn is defending this pawn. And it's also in the way if we want to try to plan an attack there on that weak square. But this pawn going here, first of all, we're going to try to get it up here and attack that pawn is the idea. But what happens if the queen does put the king in check? Well, that's not a problem, because since the queen can go there, and now we simply defend the king, get out of check by moving this pawn. The queen has to run now, because it can't kill this pawn because it's protected by not only this pawn, but also this bishop. And if they tried to put the king in check with this bishop, well, the king would just move here. So now the check against the king isn't even a threat. That's why this move was good. Now, I could have moved this pawn 1 space instead of 2 spaces, but I didn't want to do that because the idea is that we need this square empty so the knight can jump there. But first, the black queen is going to try to get out of the way. Now, where's it going to go? Because the queen could go here, perhaps. It could go here, or it could go like, I mean, you know, we don't know where the queen's going to go. I'd have to play some real games with people to see how this goes. But take, for example, this idea where perhaps the queen, I mean, okay, let's think. If In fact, here's an idea. Let's flip it. So now let's say that I'm playing black. We're going from the black view. If I was black here and I had my queen here, what would I do? I would want to get it to safety, but where would I move it to? I don't know. Okay, honestly, I'm not too sure because one way is to retreat it right back to the starting spot, but that seems sad to do that. Like, see that, but the point is, there's not really that many good places for this queen to go. But I'll show you something. The queen does not want to go. If this queen goes, oh, also, by the way, if you click a piece and there's blue squares, that means that those pieces are your opposing pieces and they can be captured. So when the black queen is clicked, it shows the white pawns that the queen could kill, but of course the queen would die if it did. Let's show an extreme example. Let's suppose that the queen goes over here to this square. Now, that is actually a really bad move for black to do. And why is that? Well, quite simply because then, see, this pawn can, wait a minute, I just realized something. It's highlighting that the pawn can go 2 squares when it should only be able to go 1 square. So there is an error in my program. That is not supposed to happen. Okay. Okay. Let's try something. Let's see what happens there. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's not supposed to happen at all. Like, dude. Yeah. That's not supposed to happen. There's something wrong with my program. The pawns are not supposed to be able to do that. Oh man. Why are the why are the pawns? Oh, I think I figured it out. No, that can't be right. Honestly, there's a bug in my program that this is bad. Okay, this is so sad. What happened here? Okay. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm just gonna restart the program here because I want to find the bug in this program. Okay, so this pawn goes here, goes 2 squares. This pawn goes here, moves 2 squares. Yeah, something is wrong with my program. There's a huge glitch because the pawns are only supposed to be able to move 2 squares on their first turn. But you know what? That would take time to fix. So, okay, yeah, I could probably fix it. But that means going into the code and finding, wait a minute, wait a minute. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to fix this bug. I'm going to try to fix it. So I may not be able to respond to the chat for a little while, Gracie, but I'm going to go to desktop view. I'm just going to go to the source code. I'm going to find what's wrong with this program because this is not behaving at all the way it's supposed to. Okay, so here, we're going to go here. I'm going to go to the CPU Chaste chess here. So let's look at, okay, so here's the main .c source file, the opening file here. Now, what's going to happen here is we have so the input. So the input is what happens when the mouse clicks. Okay, so, okay, so here we have the code where the mouse button is pushed down. So no matter whether it's the left or right mouse button, it does this. So it gets the location of where the mouse was clicked, and then okay, so then okay, yes, so, oh, that's the input dummy. That's not the, okay. Okay, so this is the chess square select because what you'll see here is this input thing here it does chess square select. So chess square select is where we have the part that, okay, yeah, this is really weird because this is not supposed to happen. Okay, select. Let's go to the beginning of this function. Okay, okay, void chess square select. So here's a function. So here's the case where, okay, p equals main grid array dot xy. So okay, so the current piece is whatever was clicked that at that specific location is set to the current clicked piece here. That's what I understand. Okay, so but see with pawns, there's something not quite right here. Okay, so we have to, okay, so they okay, initialize the highlights, and then we check the moves of clicked piece. See, that's what it does. It checks the possible moves of the piece that is currently clicked, no matter what that piece is. First, it initializes the highlights by setting all the highlights to 0, but then it does check moves of clicked piece, which is interesting. Let's see, and I have some code about en passant, but the en passant code isn't what's relevant here. Instead, I have to go to check moves of clicked piece. So that means I have to go to the CPU chase chess file. I'm going to do check move. Okay, yeah. Check moves, rook, check moves, bishop. Okay, check moves of clicked piece. Okay, so check all, okay, so check all legal pawn moves. If p dot id, piece, the ID of the piece structure is p, then you set the direction of the pawn based on whose turn it is. So if it's black's turn, then it sets the direction to 1, which a positive 1 makes it go downwards in direction. And if it is white, then it goes -1, going up in the y coordinate. So I probably lost you already, Gracie, but yeah. And then if the view is flipped, then you reverse direction. So like if the board is reversed, then it has to reverse the direction variable there. So let's see here. So, okay, and if that space, if the space in front of the pawn is empty, mark it. So then it marks that. So yeah, so if that space is empty in front of the pawn, then we're going to mark that, and it highlights that. So chess grid highlight x x coordinate of the clicked piece. This is the selected piece there, and plus the direction variable. So that's how we know what's in front of. And and here's if that space is empty and the pawn hasn't moved, allow it to move 2 spaces forward. Okay, interesting. So here's what I'm finding interesting is that, so if p dot moves equals 0, so the idea is that p dot moves needs to increment if the pawn actually moves. So there was supposed to be a variable where p dot moves, so that the moves of that piece should increment, so that way it knows whether or not the program it has to keep track. So let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. Moves. Okay. Okay, now here it says ps.moves must add to move counter. Yes, okay. Or for piece or pawns will not be correct. Okay, let's see here. So we have, interesting. So that part is there. So that, okay. I see how this is. Okay, I need to go back to the original source code because so the original source code of the original project, so SDL Chase Chess, I had another version of this same program and I copied only the relevant code from it. So I have to go back to this. Okay, so ps dot moves. Okay, so here, yes, ps.moves there, ps.moves there, and ps.moves there. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so right here is what it does is it adds the move counter for the piece. So no matter what the piece is, it adds to the counter. So we need to copy and paste this code from here. Yeah, we need to copy and paste from here. And then we need to find out, okay, so we need to go back to this. So chess square select. Okay, so here we are. So what it does is it gets the ID of it, it checks the moves of the clicked piece, and yeah, so no piece is selected. So if no piece is selected, then we try to select this piece and check the moves it might make. Okay, so let's see here. We need to find the, okay, let's see here. I need to, okay, this is, I'm lost in a sea of code here. Okay, so let's find, okay, so move X, Y. Wait a minute. Okay. Oh, okay, there it is. So we're gonna look for, okay, okay, so move piece. Oh, interesting. Okay, so move underscore XY. So that appears right there. So there's what it do. There's the move XY. Is called right there after everything's been clicked. So in other words, what we have to do is um, we have to add 1 to the counter after the piece has moved. Yes, okay. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, let's try this. So if we add ps.moves right there, and there's some other code I want to check on. I want to check on it, and let's see here, because if I go to the moves, wait, that's the wrong folder. We're going to go back here. So we need to go to move XY. So this is the function that actually moves the piece and displays the animation here. So let's see here. So this one is interesting because it simply takes the locations of what to move where, the coordinates. But main piece dot color. Okay, so first, yeah, so the main piece, yeah, struct chess piece main piece is set to that current coordinate from the array there. And then it gets the correct texture to display the piece. Okay, and then, okay, so there we go. So it does all of that, and then it does an animation. But let's see if my fix worked. By having ps.moves there and incrementing the move counter of the selected piece. Wait a minute. Well, okay, first I'm going to try it. I'm going to recompiling and rerun the program here. We're going to try this. We're going to, okay, we're going to open the terminal. We're going to just run the batch script here, recompile and rerun this thing. Let's see what it does. So that pawn can move 2 spaces. This pawn can move 2 spaces. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. They still end up moving 2 spaces, and that's because Okay, I see. That simply doesn't work the same way because now the code has been so modified from the original program. So we have to go to where the piece actually moves because, okay, so the main piece, let's go back here. So move XY. So the main piece is set to the grid in the main grid array dot ID equals 0. So, okay, I see. So it's setting to 0 that location. So main piece, all right, so after it does that, it does all of this stuff. It does the whole animation, it does the blitting of the rectangles, and then main grid array dot um, x1, plus times y. Okay, there it is. So there's main piece. So here's what we actually have to do. We need to fix this. We're going to delete this from here. We're not going to have it called in this function. And instead, we have to, before we set that element of the array to the main piece, what we have to do is main piece dot moves plus plus, which will increment the number of times that piece has moved. Okay, now we're going to try this again. We're going to recompile and rerun the program. Let's see. So now this pawn can move 2 squares. This pawn can move 2 squares. Yes, now this pawn only moves 1 square. Yes. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the way it's supposed to work. Now they only move 1 square correctly. Oh my God. I did it. I did it. Okay. Okay, so let me exit this. Let me check on the chat. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Gracie, thanks for waiting through that. And I'm going to show you something cool. So, whenever I make a change to my source code, I have a storage solution. Here's what I do is I copy all of my source files to my sync drive. I have a sync drive here, and what I do is I copy those over. Like, I only keep in my sync account, I keep only the most important stuff, like absolutely the most important stuff here. Yeah, like, yeah, that's cool there. I have everything here, even the chess piece images. So basically, these projects, CPU Chaste Chess, PGN Chaste Chess, see, I have 3 different chess game projects. The CPU one is the most recent. The SDL was the original version, and I copy old code from it, but it got complicated, so I did a complete rewrite. And this one is similar, but I can't explain the difference because it's complex. And this is SDL Chaste 3. So that's my Tetris game. So for example, if we were to go back here, if I go to SDL Chaste 3, this same project, then what it's going to do is, let's run this. Okay, so here is my Chaste game. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try something. I'm going to go back to this scene here, and then I'm going to try this. Let's try this here. So now it shows Chase in this little scene here. And I'm gonna replay this video just so you can see how my Tetris game works, because it's definitely worth seeing. It shows my name, and it also mentions River Black Road, which is my former roommate. He definitely inspired me when it comes to Tetris, though, so he's mentioned there. Okay, anyway, as you can see, now I have control of this game again. This is my Tetris game, and it can autoplay itself, which is cool. So we have like 250 lines of pure Tetris madness. That was the T-spin triple a loop, actually, is what that was. But I showed that for a very specific purpose because while that is a different game, the way it works, where the moves were manually entered into the keyboard to move the Tetris blocks, and then it keeps a move log of how it's replayed, that same principle is how my chess animation worked with Chaste. It's a very similar principle. So anyway, now that I have succeeded in correcting my program, okay, so and I backed it up to sync, and I'll upload it back to GitHub as well because I keep it all on GitHub as well. So now let's go back to CPU Chase Chess. We're gonna do this again. Now I'm hoping that now that I've fixed it, that it will be correct, and I can go back to my demonstration here. Okay, so now we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna show you what I was trying to show you, but then I noticed that huge glitch and that the program was not operating the way it was intended to. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is we are going to start out with the Queen's Gambit again, and I'm going to show you what happens here. So they decline the Queen's Gambit there, and then this pawn moves 2 spaces, exactly 2 spaces. The Queen thinks it can come put the King in check here, but then we can just block. The Queen runs away. The Queen, not wanting to retreat all the way back here, decides that it's going to go here, for instance. But when the Queen goes there, that's actually a really bad thing here. And that's because then this pawn gets to come here, and the queen is in danger. So now the queen has to move somewhere because this bishop will kill the queen. So the queen has to go somewhere safe. So it can't go there because of the pawn. It can go here. It can't go there. It can't go there. It can't go there. So literally here is the only safe square where it can go that it won't be captured. And then here's the beauty of this. So the queen is safe, but now you see this pawn can capture this pawn right here is the idea. So this pawn can capture this pawn right here. Now, of course, this queen could capture this pawn, or this pawn could capture this pawn. Let's say, for example, that let's say this pawn takes that pawn. Well, then we have a situation here where we could capture this pawn here. And I wonder if that's a good idea. It's not a bad idea, so let's do that. Let's say this exchange happens here. Then that happens, then that happens. Well, now things are going to get a little bit more interesting here. See, now that this pawn is out of the way, this knight can move here. And what will the opponent do? What will they do? I mean, they could put the king in check here, but now see this is no longer a threat because now the king can move here. And you might think that's kind of silly because that pins the knight because now this knight can't move. But there's not really anything right now that's a big threat exactly. Let's suppose there was a threat. Let's say, for example, that this tries to attack the knight that's pinned. Well, but we have an attack first here because what we have is we are attacking this queen with this bishop. And now the queen has to move. The queen can't just take the knight or the pawn to kills it. So now the queen has to move somewhere. So where's the queen going to go? You see, the idea is we keep the queen on the run doing this. And I haven't practiced this in actual games yet, but the idea seems solid enough that it could work. Because because there's going to be a lot of players that they just try to bring out their queen, and they can't do much. They're just, yeah. Let's say that the queen decides to go right there so that this knight still can't move. Well, I mean, yeah, that's considerable, I suppose. But we can, of course, we can just add more protection to this knight. So then if this bishop takes the knight, which, I mean, they can, okay, now I see a little bit of a problem here because now this pawn can take this bishop, but now this queen can take this pawn. So maybe it's not that great after all. But, we don't know how often this will happen. Yeah, this is wild. Like, these are some wild ideas here, and I really don't know how this is going to go. Now, my ideas might need some improvement, but the basic idea of bringing out this pawn, giving this king a chance to escape, seems solid enough. But maybe I should have done some things differently. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, now at least I've fixed the program so it correctly only allows pieces to move one square after they've moved one. So I'm just testing the pawns there. Okay, so that's all great. That's totally fun. But to really drive home the point of whether or not my opening ideas in response to the Queen's Gambit decline are good, I need to play games against actual humans. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch my scene over to my standard Lichess scene. Okay. And what I'm going to, I'm going to open my web browser here, and I'm just going to show you something. So this is my web browser, and I'm going to go over to GitHub. Okay, we're going to go to GitHub, and then I'm going to go to Chaste, my repository, and then we're just going to update some files here. We're going to update because I changed a few files in my source code here. So let's see, the most recently modified ones. Okay, yeah, let's see which is the most recent. Okay, so this moves one, this input, and this main one are all the ones that have been between 1 and 1:30 approximately got updated because that's the time I started streaming. Everything else is from 2:22. Okay, so that's good. All right, so there we are. So we're going to, I'm going to write notes. Fixed pawns moving always two spaces. Okay, that's a nice description. So that way, when I commit changes, you'll see it updates the repository. So it shows the notes on different updates, the notes I had written on that commit. So I use GitHub a lot. I have lots of GitHub repositories. If you look at my repositories here, it's showing 3 of them. But let's look how many, wait a minute, I have 29 repositories? How did I get 29 repositories? And I have 7 followers on GitHub. Well, yes, I have made several video games. I've done all kinds of computer programming through all these years. But 29 repositories? Like, dude, I did not know I did that much computer programming. This is embarrassing. I didn't know I was such a genius. Yeah, anyway, as you see, I've done a lot of projects, and I can turn into a complete nerd when I do computer programming. Now, when I was showing the mess of code earlier there, like, I know it looks absolutely chaotic, but the fact that I actually figured out where in the code from my own memory, approximately, where the code was going wrong and why the pawns were, moving 2 spaces always instead of only on their first move. So I can read that code because I can wrote it. Now I can't read anybody else's source code, believe it. Would you believe I can't read anybody else's source code? I can only read mine because mine is structured in a way that deals with my dyslexia in such a way where I space things out. There's a lot of white space. There's a lot of indentation you'll notice in my code. I try to keep it very well structured. Otherwise I get lost. And I got a little bit lost even so. But I fixed the bug in the program. But anyway, now what we're going to do is we need to test my chess opening theory against real humans playing chess on Lead Chess. So I'm going to play a few games before I call an end to this stream because I do need to get to bed. I have some sleep I need to catch up on, and I'm supposed to play chess with my mom and Tamasia tomorrow. So that's kind of a thing. A lot's been happening. And also, I'm giving a talk for the Rainbow Pro-Life Alliance member meeting. Giving a speech. I'm giving a speech about bodily autonomy and how bodily autonomy is something that people should have in general, especially trans people, transgender people, and that now with all the laws, that's a whole thing. That's not chess related, but I'm giving a speech on that whole topic. So now we're gonna do some chess here. Let's look in the lobby. We need a 20-minute rated game. Okay. Yes, I got lucky and I'm playing as white because if I'd been playing black, I wouldn't have been able to test my new theory yet. Okay. So let's see. Now we're not in the Queen's Gambit decline position here. So they move their knight out. Let's see what happens here. Okay, but I can still test the basic idea. I can still move this pawn 2 spaces there, because it's still not a bad idea by any means, even if we aren't in the Queen's Gambit decline position exactly. But the idea of, oh, hey, look, now we are by a different move order. Now we're in Queen's Gambit decline position exactly as I had done in my demonstration. So now we're in the exact position we need to be in to test this against a real person. So let's see how this works. So as you see, their queen can't just come and put me in check here because they'd be blocked by their own knight. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this knight right here, you see. We're going to move this knight there. So now it guards this spot. The queen can't come there anymore. Okay, so now what are they going to do? Hmm, okay. Hmm, yeah, let's see. So I could take that pawn, and then their bishop would come there and it would just start attacking me there. Hmm. I think what I'll do is I will just move this pawn forward here for now. That's what I'm thinking. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna see how well it works when I move the F pawn 2 squares forward. Because I used to move the bishop to f4 with the London style, but I instead going to be moving a pawn there and trying it. I'm not sure what this opening is called exactly, and there's going to be some variability, but I'm trying a new opening theory principle. I'm going to see if I win more games with this new plan, because I hardly ever move that pawn. I just want to try something new. Okay. Hmm. So that knight just went there. Let's try. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something. Let's see if we can get this queen over here pinning the knight. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see if this works. Now they may move their bishop right here. I'm predicting they're gonna move their bishop there. Okay, I see. I told you that's what people do. They like to move that bishop there. But here's what we're gonna do: is we're going to capture this pawn right here. We're going to capture that pawn, and then we're going to see what they do next. If my queen is in danger, I'll just move, but I'm not too concerned here. We're just going to see what develops here. Even though I had a programming error that I had to fix, I feel like this is a fairly successful stream already. And thanks for joining in the chat, Gracie. Means a lot to have some nice chat messages. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. Now I'm in this position where I can't take that knight. Okay, yeah, because if I take that knight, then yeah, then my queen dies. So that's not good. So I should probably not have moved my probably should not have moved my queen there. That was probably a bad idea. So you know what I'm going to do, people? Okay, I'm going to do something really stupid. So I decided for this game I'm going to live dangerously. So first, queen sacrifice. Let's just let the queen die. Take down that bishop. Let's see how it goes, right? We don't know. This could turn out to be very funny. I'm surprised they haven't decided what to kill my queen with yet. But it's like, I realized they made a mistake, and usually I would try to move the queen to safety, but why not just risk it? Why not see if I can win without my queen? Okay, so now their queen has gone there. Okay, that's fine. And now we're going to kill this knight. Yes, let's just go ahead and we're just going to kill that knight there. Oh, this is fun. So yeah, I mean, at least I got to kill a bishop and a knight, even though I lost my queen. So it's not all bad, you know? It's not that bad. And then what we can do is, all right, so now we're going to put the king in check because they don't have a bishop anymore or a knight. And how are they going? Well, actually, they could block the check using this knight. Yeah, that's probably what they'll do. That's probably what they're just going to do there. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to move this knight here and attack the queen. Okay, this is freaky. Can I still win even though I lost my queen? If I win this game, I'm gonna be so surprised because this I made a mistake getting up my queen, but losing your queen does not mean the game is over. I keep telling people not to resign just because you lose your queen. It's only one piece, and you still have 15 pieces left. Okay, so now the queen had to retreat there, which is kind of interesting. Okay. Okay, let's try this then. So yeah, I can do that. Huh. Now what do I do? Because I can see I can take that pawn, but then the queen can just take it. Okay, we're just gonna roll with it. Let's go ahead and let's take this pawn. Their queen will take it, but whatever. It is what it is, right? Oh man, this game is really chaotic. Okay, so now the queen has gone there, and now the queen has gone there, we're going to kill this knight right there and put their king in check. So now their knight is going to kill that bishop is the idea. That's the basic idea anyway. Yeah, okay, now that has happened, so now we're going to put the king in check with this knight. I mean, I lost my queen, but I'm still putting up a fight. This was not supposed to happen. Like it's not supposed to be this easy. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm probably still gonna lose this game very badly, but even so, I mean, this is still pretty sweet. The fact that I've survived as long as I have. Let's see now. Their king still hasn't moved. You're blowing up the chat all by yourself, Gracie. You've got like every emoji there is. I love the transgender heart there. I like that. and the Doritos. We have Dorito emojis now. And my opponent still hasn't moved. Okay, so now they have done that. All right. What will my next move be? Hmm, I'm honestly not sure yet. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I think I'm actually going to um, move this. I think I'm gonna move my king here. I know it looks silly, but I just kind of wanna I kind of want to guard this square while also still getting my rook out here. It's kind of what I was thinking. Plus, if my bishop decides to go here and attack the queen, then my king defends it. So I'm putting up the best fight I can without a queen. I still have two knights, one bishop, and two rooks. So wait. So basically, we each have a bishop and two rooks, but I have. Oh, okay. Okay, so now they've done that. Well, that's nasty. I don't like that at all. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to threaten the queen with this bishop. I don't want them to kill my knight, but right now I'm just going to attack the queen to buy myself time, is the idea. And maybe I can get my knight to safety a little bit later on. I can only hope, right? And the important thing is they can't put me in check. I'm still putting up a fight, like I don't even have a queen, but I have two knights, and my opponent doesn't have any knights. Can my two knights be my queen killers? Can they do it? I don't know. Okay, so here's what we got going on now. Now we have this little problem that my knight is being attacked, and I don't like that at all. So we're going to move this knight right here where it should be safe. That's the idea. This is the funniest chess game ever. I still don't know. Oh, they moved the king. Oh, I think I know why they did that too. Yeah, I think that was because they did not want me to be able to do that. Okay, they didn't want me to be put their king in check. Okay, so now I'm going to move this rook right behind this knight. I wonder if my opponent will put a stop to my plans. I have some very evil plans going on here. I may have to get my other pawns on the right side involved here. Okay, what are they doing now? What's happening here? Okay. See, I don't know what's happening here, but I have this feeling that I should try to get this pawn moved up here. I'm going to try getting my stuff active here. We're just going to try this. Hmm. I really hope my opponent doesn't resign. Like, I want to take the win, but I want to actually finish this game in a checkmate, even though I lost my queen so early. I want to see if I can do it. Okay, so now the queen has gone right there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move this rook right there behind this knight. We're going to try this. We're going to see if this works. This is going to be weird, man. I tell you, very weird. I have my rooks behind my knights. Oh, man. Oh, I'm loving this game. See why I love chess. This game is fun. Oh, okay. So now that queen has gone back there because it didn't want to be attacked in that way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to try to advance this pawn right there. And it could be a bad idea, but I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I'm also not sure if I should have moved this pawn here before I did that, but it's too late now. Okay, so now they did that. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to take that pawn with that. Hmm. So far, so good. I mean, I'm still in the game. It's not over yet. Okay, so now, all right, I see how this is. So now that bishop, this bishop is threatening my knight. So now my knight, oh, well, okay, I can, wait, I can move this bishop here, but no, that doesn't seem right. I'm gonna protect my knight. Hmm. Now that bishop could take this pawn. They could totally do that. Oh, okay. Instead, they chose to move that rook. Okay. Whoa. Okay. Dude, man. Okay, yeah, this is freaky stuff here. Um, wow. I'm not sure what to do in this position now. Hmm, let's see. How do I want to do this? Okay, I'm just gonna go here. I'm gonna put them in check. I'm gonna put them in check with that rook there. And then I'm gonna see what they do about it. Like, will the king move or will they put the rook in the way? My opponent could run out of time. Like, this was a 20-minute on each side. Uh, both sides had 20 minutes on the clock at the start of this match, right? My opponent has 7.5 minutes left now. I still have 12 and a half. So, like, I could win on time even if I don't have the pieces to win. This is gonna, okay, I have won a lot of games and I've lost a lot of games on Lead Chess, but if I win this game, this will be the most embarrassing, most insane win I've ever had. Like, now, okay, now I did beat Stockfish level 8, but that was by using Stockfish to tell me some of the moves to beat Stockfish, so that doesn't count. But this counts because I'm using only the power of my mind here to try to still overcome my opponent without my queen. And see, they're in check, and they are carefully considering their moves here. They're wise to be careful. I mean, the safe move would be just to move the king out of the way. That would be their safe move, I suppose. But if they don't move soon, then they'll just lose on time. Okay, there they go. They finally moved. They finally moved the king. Huh. Now this, okay, that bishop is not an immediate threat at the moment, not really. And okay, this bishop, it could take the pawn, but then I capture back with this knight. This rook could take my knight, but then I capture back with the rook. I could sacrifice the knight and kill the bishop, but I would like to keep my knight. So I think what I need to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm just going to capture this pawn. Or wait, no, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Wait, I can put them. Okay, I'm going to put my opponent in check here with this bishop because this bishop is not actively doing anything. Not at all. It's a completely useless bishop if I don't do something with it. So we just put them in check. Here's an idea. I keep putting them in check until they run out of time. Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay. Well, okay. Sacrifice the knight, put them in check. There we are. Now we've got it. We put them in check. You move the rook over here. And do you see any problems with this? Do you see the problem? Where's their king gonna go? It's not checkmate though. Do you see the move, Gracie? Do you see their only legal move? Their only legal move in this position to get out of check is literally to let their queen die. They have to move the queen in the way to block the check with the rook, but then the rook kills their queen. And then it's checkmate. I wonder if they realized it. I don't think they realized it yet. They're in trouble. They've got nowhere left to move except that. Because see, this rook covers this entire row, and this bishop covers this, and they're in check directly with this rook. So what are they going to do? They have to put the queen there. They have to put the queen right there. That's the only legal move to get out of check. But as soon as they do, then I take it. What are they doing? Are they just going to let their time expire? Is that what it is? They're just going to let their time expire? Oh, I'm playing some good chess tonight. Like, okay, so my opponent is refusing to move their queen. Black resigned. White is victorious. They knew that it was checkmate, but they didn't even have the respect to allow me to checkmate. No, instead of doing that, they just resigned. Like, I was one move away from checkmating. Maybe, like, just move your queen there and let me checkmate you. My, okay, my opponents resign so much of the time. Like, I think it's like 40 to 50% of my wins or whatever are just resignations. They never let me checkmate. But whatever, I still win. Black resign. White is victorious. Thanks for joining me on my Twitch stream. You're my most loyal follower, Gracie. Hopefully there will be more. Although there was one time I got 2 followers and 5 chatters all in the same stream. It was a really fun time. I played like 3 classical games. And most importantly, I fixed the bug in my program so now it works correctly. And I backed it up to GitHub and my sync drive. So it's all very good now. So I guess we should end the stream with the ending theme song.
Board is set, let's play our game. Everyone can join the same. Pieces move their timeless dance. In chess there's always a chance. Kings and queens on either side. Pawns advance with humble pride. No one's left out in this fight. A game of skill, no dark, no light. Chess for all, chess for you. Every move, it's something new. No matter who or where you are, in this game we're all a star. Black or white, it doesn't matter. On this board, no walls to shatter. Rich or poor, we all belong. In this fight, we're going strong. Even if you've never played, there's no need to be afraid. Anyone can learn this game. That's why chess has so much fame. Male or female, gay or straight, at this table no one's late. Every voice and move unique, all together we are sleek. Anyone can win this game, but when you lose, feel no shame. Even masters make mistakes, all your games are just remakes. Each new player finds their style, when you find it you will smile. Books and courses help us learn what we need to take our turn. Chess for all, chess for you. Every